Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Turian's Adventures, the series where I play indie point-and-click adventure games which have caught my eye. And this week, we are looking at The Corruption Within by Cosmic Void. Now, this was originally suggested to me by my good friend Clay, or Terminally Nerdy, as he's known on here. And it just looked really interesting. It gripped me straight away. I love the art style of this. I believe it's sort of a spooky horror point-and-click game, which is pretty interesting. And this is a little teaser demo, which I believe is around 10 minutes or so long. Maybe a bit less, because I might not be too good at it. But I spoke to the devs, and they are well up for me playing this on the channel. So let's jump in, do a new game, and hopefully you'll enjoy what you see.
It had been a wonderful week. Camping, hiking, and exploring the countryside with my wife and 2 children. We hadn't been able to afford a holiday while the kids were growing up, but finally, between my salary and Steph selling some of her paintings, we'd scrabbled together the funds. With 2 nights to go, we'd planned to spend the afternoon exploring a section of the forest by the lake we hadn't seen yet. At dusk, I was collecting things together while Steph and the kids answered the call of nature. They didn't come back.
Oh my god. Okay.
I spent hours searching, calling, to no avail.
Oh, it's definitely got a spooky vibe already, hasn't it? The music is great.
Frantically, I headed towards the only sign of civilization I'd seen. A grand mansion with a mountain behind it and a lake at the front. I'd heard of this new invention called a telephone. Whoever owned the mansion was surely rich enough to own one. Or at least have some horses. I scrambled over old tree roots to get to the mansion. Rumors and superstitions were rife about this part of the country, but I put those down to silly old wives' tales designed to scare children. I reluctantly began to wonder if there was some truth to it. Tales of ghosts and fell beasts didn't bother me. I didn't believe in such things. The stories of Edgar Allan Poe were entertaining, but nothing more. It was the evil people were capable of that worried me. I reached the mansion and hoped to find help there. At the very least, someone should be able to aid me in some way. If they couldn't, there was no hope of aid from any other source, unless I found my way back to civilization and the police conducted a full search of the countryside. But it would be too late. This mansion was my only hope.
Alright, the mansion's our only hope. Wow, I really love the spooky vibe already. It's pretty cool, and I like the story. I wasn't expecting the story to be quite so detailed, but I'm liking it. I think this is great. It's an impressive building indeed. It must be a rich family that lives here. Even though it's late, there seems to be lights on, so I guess at least someone is still awake. Also, it's worth mentioning that this game, I believe, is due out in July this year, so only a couple of months away. So if you guys are interested in keeping an eye out for it, it won't be too long, that is for sure. Right, okay, so it doesn't look like we can say anything else about the building. Can we look at anything else? No. The door, befitting the huge edifice, is massive. Just who lives here? After a brief moment, a man opened the door. Ooh, I like the art style on the people. Just what is your business at this ungodly hour, sir? Please, my good man, let me in. My family have gone missing and I need help. Do you have an appointment? What? Of course not. My family have gone missing and I... Do you have an invitation from a member of the family? Can't you understand that I need to find help? My family. If you do not have an appointment or a formal invitation, then I cannot allow you to enter the house. There are no exceptions. I bid you goodbye, sir. Now what am I going to do? Oh my god, okay. Was that Steph? I'd better go check it out. The screams seem to have come from the southwest. Not knowing where I was heading, but following the sounds of the screams, I ended up somewhere in the forest. Oh my god, that is terrifying. As I entered the area, I immediately saw what must have been the reason for the scream. There was a man hanging in the trees. A young female voice called out to me. Please, sir, you must help me find who did this. She moved behind the dense foliage, hiding, unwilling to make herself known. I started to explain that I was looking for my family and that this was my priority, and to call the police, when the unseen person uttered words that chilled me to the bone. Sir, I have seen a woman with 2 children. They have been taken. I begged her to show me where they had been taken, but she refused, saying only that she would help me if I first helped her, and that strange happenings were afoot. I had no choice. I agreed to help. The voice, apparently satisfied that I meant it, told me to give the butler a card that she would leave me under the door of a nearby shed. She sounded common, not a member of the aristocracy, but apparently the invitation would be from someone called Lady Charlotte. Without the invitation, I would not get into the house. Apparently the family were rather eccentric and insisted on things being done in very specific ways. Okay. God, this is horrible. Something truly unsettling about his eyes, as if he's experienced things that no one should ever have to go through. There's some really dense foliage here. I could probably get through it if I had a reason to, but I can't see one right now. It's a full moon, and depending on the angle I look at it, its appearance can be very different. I hope this isn't a bad omen of some sort. Yeah, I hope so too. Seems like an ordinary sort of rope, expertly knotted. I think whoever tied it must be used to doing this. I wonder if this poor man is not their first victim. It's too tight for me to untie, and anyway, I don't want to touch it. Okay. There's something... Okay. I thought it was commenting on the mouth. Right, so let's go this way. I like the music as well. It's really good. The happy days we spent hiking in those mountains already seem so long ago. Yeah. Right, what's this? I'm not sure what that wheelbarrow has been used for, but it has dark red staining inside. I feel gardening was not its only use. Yeah, I'm thinking that as well. If I have a use for the wheelbarrow, I can come and get it, but I'm not lugging it around with me. Okay. A sturdy looking door. As promised, there is an invitation tucked under the door. I have taken it. To open or close your inventory, click the middle mouse button or press the space bar. Left click an item from your inventory to hold it in your hand. You can then use it on objects or people in the world. To return it to your inventory, click the right click mouse button or open the inventory again. Okay, so we've got the invitation to the mansion there. So that's fine. Oh, look at this place. It wasn't long ago that my children were happily clambering along rock formations just like this. I can't abide the thought of them being in danger. To think I scolded them for being careless with their footing, as if that were the worst thing that could happen to them. Yeah, well, you don't know what you don't know. So, I can only see a very deep part of the lake from here. I can't make out any details. This tree stands out impressively even in the sometimes dense woodland. I'm guessing it may even have been around long enough to have started life when George III was on the throne. Okay. Well, this is pretty scary, this place. Another rock seemingly defying gravity at the surface of the water. There is no sorcery involved, however. I can just make out the stump of an old tree underneath it. Okay. There's an old tree there. The tree sits imposingly on the banks of the lake, firmly anchored by its deep root system. Okay. Let's go back to the house then, if we can. Or can we not? How do we get back to the house? Dense foliage is all around, creating a safe and advantageous environment for the many squirrels and other small denizens living here. Oh, okay, so we can go this way. These rocks jutting out of the water make me feel uneasy. I feel like they shouldn't be there. What's this? There's a small indentation at the top and some marks I don't recognise as any language I've ever seen. Okay. Apart from the indentation at the top, I can't feel anything that may be part of a mechanism. Possibly I could find something that would fit the indentation. Okay. Okay, we're back at the house. The man's back. I have an invitation from Lady Charlotte to enter the mansion. Never mind. Okay. Although Lady Charlotte does the most extraordinary things at times, I'm not going to simply take your word for it. You'll have to provide proof. Here is my proof. I see. This appears to be in order. I'm not aware that Lady Charlotte has left the house tonight, so I suppose she sent a servant to do her bidding. Do come in, sir. I shall take you through to the lounge and fetch her ladyship for you. Right, so we're in the house now. Please wait here while I fetch Lady Charlotte. Okay, so sounds of whispers come from behind the door. You may leave us now, Giles. Very good, my lady. Lady Charlotte studied you keenly before speaking. I see you got my invitation. Jolly good. Thank you for your kindness and hospitality, madam. Of course, of course. Do you happen to know something of my family's whereabouts? My wife and 2 children, 1 boy and 1 girl. Oh, did I see them? I think maybe I did. Yeah, of course, she knows more than she's letting on. You mean you don't know whether you saw them? Oh yes, now that I think of it, I did. So where are they? Patience, my good man. Patience? I'm desperate to find them. I'm feeling woozy, I need to go and lie down. You may search the mansion if you like. I have nothing to hide, or perhaps I do have something to hide, but I want you to find it. Lady Charlotte gives a small and slightly delirious laugh. I don't remember when and where I saw them. I have not been feeling myself lately. Oh my god. Okay. Did you hear that? Your imagination is getting the better of you. This old house is full of strange sounds. That was no random creak created by the wind in an old house. That was someone in pain. Oh dear heart, are you a writer? You have the most vivid imaginings. As for me, I need a rest. I shall see you later, no doubt. I'm sure I heard something. I'm sure people around here know more than they're letting on. Time to investigate. Uncover the secrets of the mansion and its inhabitants in The Corruption Within, a game by Cosmic Void. Release date Q2, Q3 2021. Thank you for playing the demo. There we go then. So that's the little teaser. I'm already hooked on the story, I've got to say. I really want to know what's going on. And it's got an incredibly creepy vibe, hasn't it? I think the developers have done really well with a combination of the artwork and the music to create a setting which really does make you feel pretty uneasy, to be honest. It just makes you feel really, really uneasy, and I'm excited for this. I really want to see what the full game is going to be like. So like I said, I believe this is due out in July of this year. I will leave a link to the demo down in the description below. If you want to play it, you can go ahead and play it. It's only short. You can experience the atmosphere for yourself. I think it's definitely very atmospheric, that much I will say. And as I said before, I love the sort of art style and everything like that as well. I think it's great. So I'm excited to see what happens with the full release of this one. It's definitely one that I'm intrigued by, I've got to say. And make sure you wishlist it as well if it's something that you like, because wishlisting games on Steam really does help encourage Steam to push it out to people, so that's always a good thing to do. But that is going to do it for this one, guys. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons Arcades Games, Wayne and Nate, for all the support on the channel. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this, because it will help YouTube to push this out to more people who might want to join our little point and click community that we're building here. And also it will help the word get out about this developer's game as well, which is exactly the point of making these videos. And I'll see you all next time.